Back, one Utah State Park ranger is experiencing quite the summer.
Yes, she is. She's found herself in a series of intense life or death situations. Stories she shares with ABC4's Rick Aaron in tonight's Behind the Badge report.
23-year-old Ranger Schaefer has always been courteous and helpful to visitors at Sand Hollow and Deer Creek State Parks, but the last few weeks, she's been a real lifesaver. She was probably destined to work in the great outdoors when her parents named her Sierra.
My dad claims, though, when he was on his way to the hospital that he saw a Sierra mist can rolling around on the ground, and that's how he got my name.
The Roy native and Southern Utah University graduate is friendly and petite, but also a gun-packing sworn officer of the law. She patrols the land and water at Deer Creek State Park, where a few weeks ago she was the first to arrive on a heart-stopping scene.
Yeah, just right over here.
A distraught young man was sitting on the edge of the Highway 189 bridge, his legs dangling 200 feet above the spillway as he contemplated suicide.
But I knew that this guy didn't want to do it, and I just needed to be able to talk to him so I could get him down. And we actually ended up having a lot in common. We're the same age, we have siblings the same age, we like some of the same things, so I'm glad I was able to get that bond with him.
She waved other officers back and talked to the man for an hour.
I asked if he'd lived here his whole life, and he seemed kind of disappointed about that. And so I was like, well, where in the world would you go right now if you could go anywhere in the world? And I don't know if that finally got to him or if he just got annoyed of me, but that's when he got off the bridge and he said, you know what, and just got down.
He then agreed to get the help he needed. Around that same time, Ranger Schaefer heard a different kind of distress call. Two swimmers were in big trouble when a sudden windstorm hit the reservoir. She got in her boat and raced to Rainbow Bay.
They were starting to go under. As I pulled up to them, I got life jackets out, threw them to them, and had them put them on. They were telling me they couldn't do it anymore, so I pulled them to the back of the boat and was able to pull them both into my boat with using all my body weight to get them in.
They were checked out by medical personnel and released, but Ranger Schaefer's adventures were not over. This past Saturday, she rushed to assist Utah Highway Patrol troopers.
Highway Patrol got called to a woman that was laying in the middle of Highway 40 by Daniel Summit, holding her child. She was having a mental episode and she was surrounded by other people but wouldn't get out of the road. And then I ended up sitting on the ground and talking with her and her child for a couple hours.
Finally, she convinced the woman to release her child and get out of the roadway. Two more people who are still alive today thanks to Ranger Schaefer.
I seem to be in the right place at the right time lately. I wouldn't say I'm a hero, I'm just here doing my job, trying to help people.
Despite saving 5 lives in the past few weeks, Ranger Schaefer's most memorable moment of 2020 will happen next month when she and her fiancé tie the knot in an outdoor wedding. For Behind the Badge, Rick Aaron, ABC4 News.
Our thanks to her and a congrats for the upcoming wedding. Well, to see more Behind the Badge stories or to nominate an officer for Rick to profile, all you have to do, head to our website, abc4.com/badge.